Welcome to our Comstock Lodge Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide here in Park City, Utah. Today we're going to look at the sales activity at the Comstock Lodge Market in Deer Valley. But before we do, I want to give you a quick overview of what's been happening in the Park City real estate market. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,444 sales in Park City. Now that consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land, and that's all real estate brokerages combined. That's a 10% increase or a gain of 135 sales from the 12-month period the year before. Now when we break it down by specific category of properties, homes, condominiums, and vacant land, we see that home sales rose by about 4% from 496 sales all the way up to 516. The biggest increase, however, was with the condominiums, where we saw an increase of 24%, with the number of transactions rising from 594 sales all the way up to 738. Lot sales, however, were down by about 13%, dropping from 219 transactions to 190. Now do keep in mind that there's a limited amount of vacant land available in the Park City area, and so this decline isn't so much a lack of interest on the part of buyers, but a lack of inventory for them to purchase. But let's turn our attention to prices. Everyone wants to know about prices. We're now looking at a graph which considers the home medium sold prices, and we're looking at the time period reflected by the red bars from November 2014 to October 2015. The gold bars represent the same 12-month period but the year before. And I've broken this into two categories, the Park City area and then the Snyderville Basin, which represents kind of the county area of Park City. We see here that we've seen significant increases or appreciation on prices. Within the city limits, the median sold price for a home rose from $1,300,000 up to $1,450,000. That's a 12% increase. Nice. In the Snyderville Basin, a 13% increase, with the median sold price rising from $768,000 now up to $865,000. Now we're looking at condominiums, and within the city limits, the price rose about 6% from $535,000 up to $565,000. Again, fewer condominiums for sale in the city limits. In the Snyderville Basin, we saw a 16% increase in appreciation from a median price of $339,500 to just under $400,000 at $395,000. Now we're looking at lot median sold prices, and a substantial increase in the Park City limits, actually 23%, climbing from $550,000 to $675,000. But I do need to point out that we're dealing with such a small sampling here. From year-to-year comparison, you might see that in the past 12 months there was one or two lots that had a superior location or some unobstructed views that the previous year didn't have, and believe it or not, that can account for a 20% change. So I don't want you to think that across the board lots have gone up 23% within the city limits. Be nice, just wouldn't be true. In the Snyderville Basin, however, rose by 17%, which is accurate, much larger sampling, and so the median sold price of vacant land there rose from $300,000 to $350,000. Very nice increase. Now let's look at Comstock Lodge. What's been happening there? Well, properties have been selling, but not a lot of properties. I'm happy to report that condominium sales at Comstock Lodge are actually up 100% over last year's number of sales. That's very good news. But here's the important thing you need to realize. Last year, there was only one sale. Or I should say last year there were two. The year before that we're comparing with had only one. So 100% increase in this instance is just one more sale. But better to have two sales than one. Condominium sales at Comstock are selling at a pace of one sale every 183 days, and we call this absorption rate because what we're doing is we're looking back at the number of sales over the past 12 months, which was two, and we're looking at the current inventory, and we're evaluating how long it should take for that current inventory to be absorbed by the marketplace. Presently, there's one condominium on the market, and therefore that equates to a 6-month inventory. Again, we're working with one condominium, 6 months Statistically, everything I'm reporting is accurate, but you just can't give it a huge amount of weight. It is worthwhile to point out, however, that according to the National Association of Realtors, a balanced market where there's an equal number of buyers and sellers typically is about a 6-month inventory. In resort towns like Park City, a balanced market is typically a 9-month inventory. So while we're dealing with a very small sampling, while there's only one Comstock Lodge currently on the market, it still represents a market that favors sellers. The prices of the properties that did sell, since there were two, was in the range of $569,000 to $595,000. So the median was $582,000. That's actually up 5% from the previous year. Again, keep in mind the previous year there was a single sale. There's your statistics. Rose from $555,000 to a median price of $582,000. If you're interested in knowing the specific details about the condos there at Comstock, I'm happy to send them to you. Just send me an email, ron@thewillsteinteam.com, and I will send that off to you. I do want to take a moment just to show you how you can get information on the Comstock Lodge market whenever you wish. And all you do is you go to BuyParkCityRealEstate.com, our main website. We have 3 that we do a lot of marketing through that are exclusively the Wilstein Team websites. This is our primary one. So you go to viewparkcityrealestate.com/Comstock Lodge, or a little shorter version, the WilsteinTeam.com/Comstock Lodge. You'll come to a page that's explicitly designed and especially designed for Comstock Lodge. In fact, let me just show it to you real quickly. Here's the page. This is viewparkcityrealestate.com and the Comstock Lodge page. And I'm just going to scroll a little bit here so you can see what's on the page. We have this green box which says watch a webinar for an update on the Comstock Lodge condominium. In effect, that's what you're doing right now. And we tend to do these webinars every 6 months approximately. Or send me current sales data for Comstock Lodge. Now if you happen to click that button, it was maroon and then it turned purple, click that button, that would take you to a form which is entitled Current Sales Data. And it's very simple. It takes you less than a minute to fill out. And all you do is you identify the property you're curious about, what sort of sales are happening, Comstock Lodge as an example. Indicate whether it's a home or a condominium, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, size, and then include your first name and your last name and your email address. You're welcome to include your mailing address if you want to receive our quarterly newsletter, but it's not necessary. And then there's a comment box, and if you have a particular question that you want to ask or information on, type it in there. Or it can be as simple as send me information on Comstock Lodge sales. And then just click the green button on the form, and that will come to me, and I will then get you that information. And there's no cost, there's no obligation at all for this. It's just our way to get you information about the marketplace, and you don't have to wait for the next webinar to come. You can get it any time that you want. Well, as I wrap up here, I just wanted to give you a quick little update on Vail's improvements of the Park City Resort. I'm assuming that you're aware that Park City Mountain Resort combined with Canyons Resort to form one resort. And this year, 2015-2016 season, they are officially connected, and they're connected as a result of Vail putting in $50 million of improvements. The actual connection point is the Quicksilver condo. This is an earlier picture when they had the towers placed and they were getting things into position to join the 2 resorts into one. And so I got to get used to saying it's one resort, not 2. Great picture of the helicopter bringing in the next piece. But the cables are strung, the gondolas are up, and it's not operating, it's in the test phase, but it will be operating before the holidays here in December. So we're very excited about that. The new restaurant at the base of the Quicksilver condo and the Silverlode Express lift is the Miners Camp. And so this tells you that the base of both the gondola and Quicksilver lift are at the same place, and that's where you go to get a little break or refreshment during your ski day. Part of the improvement of Vail to the resort was changing out the King Kong lift, making it a 6-pack lift, 6-passenger lift, and this will whisk people up the hill more efficiently, and so that's a nice addition. They've been doing a lot of additions there. I do want to let you know that Park City Resort is scheduled to open November 21st. We have had some snow here, not a ton, but the snow is falling, the weather is cold, they're making plenty of snow, and so I'll put that on your calendar, November 21st. Deer Valley is scheduled to open December 5th, and they, I know, a couple of days ago got 8 inches of snow, and so they're well on their way. And you know, Deer Valley, they'll always have the nicest groomed mountain and the best tasting food. So whichever resort you like to ski the most or ski both, find your way to that, and it's just around our corner here. We have been asked a lot with the improvements that Vail's made to the Park City Resort. What impact is that having on the Park City real estate market overall? And while I don't have time to discuss it here, in our October Market Talk webinar, we actually addressed that subject. And so if you're interested in watching that webinar, go to viewparkcityrealestate.com/Vail improvements, and we address that topic in detail. I think you'll find it interesting. If you happen to own the Comstock Lodge, you want to learn how much your property is worth, really easy. Simply go to viewparkcityrealestate.com. That's the home page. Scroll down to the Learn What Your Property is Worth section and complete that form. It's very simple, or send me an email. Again, I'll just take you to that home page. Here we're on the home page. Scroll down a bit, and here we are at the Learn What Your Property is Worth. Some of the same fields on that previous form that I showed you. Identify your address or your condominium and unit number. Choose from the pull-down menus the appropriate selection of information, and then lower down, include your name, first and last name, and email address, and then when you scroll down, you have some choices here. Choose this first one. Check the box, contact me for a free property value assessment. If any of these other topics are of interest, check those as well, and then click the green button. If you do that, I'll get an email, I'll contact you, arrange access to see your property, get you the information on its value, and it is just that easy. And again, I want to stress, no cost, there's no obligation. You can just be curious, that's fine. Or if you're thinking of selling it, that's fine as well. Have any questions, send me an email, ron@thewillistonteam.com. If you would like a call back, include your phone number, the preferred time, and I'll be happy to do so. Again, I want to remind you, every single month we have a Park City Market Talk webinar. We go into details on the statistics in the marketplace with number of sales, prices, go into greater detail than the summary I did here. And then we address other topics that are on people's minds, so you may want to check that out. Always can find out what's happening in Park City anytime you want without having to talk to me. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar. I trust it's been helpful. If we can be of any assistance at all for your real estate needs, we are here for you, and we hope to see you up on the slopes at Deer Valley. Bye-bye.